Hi, in this video we're going to be talking about Nobara Linux. So this is, I guess you could say, a modified version of Fedora Linux, even though they say it's more of their own thing rather than just like a reskinned or changed version of Fedora. So this is geared towards gamers, Steam gamers, but they also have different versions if you're just looking for like a productivity version with Office applications. So in this video we're going to be talking about the differences between different versions, kind of give you an overview of how Nobara works, what it could do, and then we'll show you a couple different versions, and then we'll go through the installation of one of them, so you can check that out as well. All right, so we're going to be going through several slides here, so if you're not into that, you can just kind of fast forward through it, or skip right to the demonstration. So we'll try not to take too much time on the slides here. Okay, so what is Nobara Linux and how it differs from regular Fedora? So it's based on Fedora, but with a strong focus on gaming, multimedia, and out-of-the-box usability. So in general, a clean Fedora installation will lack NVIDIA drivers, codecs, and gaming tools. And they actually have NVIDIA versions of Nobara that you could download as well, depending on what GPU you're using. All right, so it's geared towards point-and-click users who prefer a ready-made desktop that works out of the box, and also your typical Fedora power user. So it's a completely independent project that uses Fedora packages as a base and adds its own modifications, repos, and default software. All right, so here are some of the additions here. So the official, so we're going to be showing you the official version and the Steam version. So this is their custom themed version of KDE. They have the GNOME version, if you're into GNOME desktop, a clean KDE version, a Steam version, so it gives you more of a Steam Deck look, and then even have a Steam-Handheld version, which is optimized for handheld or small form factor devices. All right, so gaming, Steam, and multimedia. So it comes out of the box with gaming tools, Wine, Proton, and so on. It has multimedia and content creation tools like OBS Studio and some codecs, which are pre-installed. And like I mentioned before, if you are an NVIDIA user, there is an NVIDIA ISO that you could download, which will give you drivers already in place. And then, of course, you could upgrade them as needed. And then for Vulkan, Wayland, and gaming performance, it ships with updated Mesa and Vulkan drivers. Right, then it also supports things such as gaming overlays, game mode optimizations, and hardware acceleration. All right, so now we're going to talk about the difference between the NVIDIA ISO and the standard ISO. So the non-NVIDIA ISO does not include the proprietary NVIDIA drivers by default, and you'll need to install them manually. And this is good for users with AMD GPUs or integrated graphics. And then we have the NVIDIA ISO files, which includes NVIDIA's proprietary drivers pre-installed. It's good for gamers, content creators, or anyone relying on GPU-intensive tasks. But according to the official site, these NVIDIA ISOs may take longer to boot in the live mode because the system needs to build and load the kernel modules before boot. And then, of course, you might run into issues if you have older hardware. All right, so for the best out-of-the-box gaming experience, go for the NVIDIA ISO, assuming you have an NVIDIA GPU. And if you don't, go for the standard one. All right, so let's go over the basic system requirements here. So for the CPU, dual core, recommended a 3+ gigahertz quad core. So everybody's going to have, something on the higher end these days anyways. And especially for RAM, nobody has less than 8 gigs on their computer, so this shouldn't be a problem. And of course, storage is going to depend on what you're going to be installing and what kind of games you're going to be running. And then you have the options for the integrated Intel and AMD GPUs, but they recommend the NVIDIA or AMD GPU for gaming. And then we have the x86 64-bit architecture. All right, so these are the two we're going to be showing you. So what's the difference between the official and the Steam version? So here's the official, which comes with a desktop productivity suite such as LibreOffice, GIMP, Brave. Has some gaming tools, Steam, Wine, Proton Plus. It will come with multimedia codecs and proprietary drivers pre-installed. You'll get the standard desktop environment, such as KDE Plasma or GNOME, depending on which one you download. And overall, it's good for general computing and basic gaming. So it's a complete Linux desktop for everyday work and play. All right, then we have the Steam edition here. So Steam is the central interface, fewer productivity apps because the focus is on gaming. Get game scope integration, console style UI, variants for NVIDIA and AMD GPUs. So the goal is for living room or handheld gaming environments that feel like the Steam OS. All right, so here are your key differences. So desktop and gaming versus console gaming. GNOME desktop versus the Steam Deck style. Productivity versus gaming apps. And then Office or creative apps versus GameScope apps and controller-friendly UI. And the official version is best for users who need a full desktop versus gamers who are wanting a console-like PC. All right, so let's take a look at the official version first, just so you can see how it looks. And then we'll look at the Steam version, and then we'll install one of them. All right, so we're on the official version here. So when you first start it up, it'll try to do an installation, which you could cancel, and then you could come back and install it here if you decide to install it. So all of these you could run in a live mode, which means you're actually running the operating system in memory, but you can't really make any changes because once you shut it down, everything's going to be lost. So it's just a way to play around with it. All right, so down here we have our apps, updates, system settings, application repository, file manager, and your browser. So let's kind of look at these apps here. Let's just go to all apps. A lot of these Linux distributions will break down the all apps into various categories like this. So let's kind of scroll through the list so you can see what we got here. You can see the Office apps here. All right. Let's take a look at the settings real quick. So tons of settings here for most of these versions of Linux. And then a lot of these will have subcategories here that you could go into. Touchscreen on this computer. Game controller settings. No game controller found. Sound settings. Display settings. Accessibility, Bluetooth. Disk options. Cameras. Thunderbolt printers. Networking settings. Accounts. Push notifications. Remote desktop. All your appearance settings for wallpapers. Themes, text and fonts, animations, default apps, notifications, activities, searching, screen locks, even have KDE Wallet, language and time settings, and system settings. If we right click on the desktop, we have some options for new, get to the terminal, go to the lock screen, another way to get to your desktop and wallpaper settings. And then if you right click on the panel here, which is like the Windows taskbar, you can configure the panel, add some widgets, configure icons and the like. And then over here we have our options here. Volume, brightness, device, network settings, date and time. Like that. Then you have all your sleep shutdown options and so on. All right, then if we go to the store here to look at the applications. All right, so you can see we have our trending apps. So you could scroll on, checking out apps here. Installed apps, do some updates, change your repositories, sort the results based on trending, popular, and so on. All the categories. Bunch of games you could check out, and the like. All right, so that is the official version. So let's hop over on the Steam version and see how that looks. All right, so on this one, I actually did a restart just so you can see what happens when you start the computer here. So this is the default option here. So if you want to test your media and then start it, but I'm just going to go right to start it. We'll let it load up here real quick. So I'm also recording this at a lower resolution, so that's why things are not fitting on the screen as well as they should. All right, so you can see here it tries to install it right away, so you just need to click on cancel, and then you're back on the desktop. So here's the Steam version. So you can see we have similar selections down here. Checking out our apps, settings, update the system, application launcher. All right, let's check out all the applications here. Not that you're going to remember what was in the other version, but you get an idea of what we have here. So if you're a Linux user right now, you might recognize some of these apps here. Like so. Go into the settings to see what we have here. Similar options. So a lot of these main settings are going to be the same, obviously, because networking options and printer options are not going to differ between the versions here. You're going to have some different wallpapers, of course, probably some themes as well. All right, then we have our right-click options, which are going to be similar as well. And same down here with these running apps and so on. Let's check out what apps we have available here. So this usually takes a minute to load, so I pause the video for this part here. All right, so you can see kind of similar looking as well. Same type of categories. The basic Linux games, not the real games. All right, so obviously your biggest differences are going to be, with the Steam settings and the drivers for NVIDIA if you're using the NVIDIA version, and more streamlined for gaming if you're using the Steam version. All right, so let's do a quick installation here just to try out the process. I'm going to skip this part here for the sake of time, but you should leave these checked if you're installing it. Right? Time zone if you need to change it. So this should look like a typical Linux installation if you've ever installed Linux. Keyboard layout. Just give a name here, Bob. You could change the computer name if you want. Put password. Password. Obviously, you're not going to be using that, and you'll get this message if you try and do something too basic. And then you could use this for the root password if you want. You could have it log in automatically if you want. So obviously, don't follow what I'm doing when it comes to security because this is not the best way to do it. I'm just trying to get through this here. All right, so here's where you're going to have to pay attention, especially if you have more than one drive or if you're doing a dual boot situation, because this is the default to erase the disk. So it tells you what it's going to do here. So this is just a 60 gigabyte disk, and you could pick a different disk from the list if you have more than one. And of course, if you want to split it up, make your own partitions or not use the whole drive, so you could use the rest of it for something else, you could do the manual partitioning. But I'm going to use the whole disk here. All right, so now you have a summary screen here. So if everything looks good, click on Install. All right, so obviously this is going to take a few minutes, so I'll pause the video and be back for the next step. All right, so the installation is complete. Let's check the box to restart. We will restart and then be right back. All right, so now we're updating Steam here. So we'll pause and be back when this is done. Then you can also see we have some other updates, which you're going to see on a new installation. All right, so now it's saying we need to do this update before we can continue. So we'll just say yes to this. Got to put in the password for our user account here. All right, so this is running here. All right, so rather than wait for this to finish, because we don't need to do so, we can let it run in the background. I just wanted to show you here, we have this option here to return to gaming mode. Everything else should look to be about the same. And now, of course, you could install other apps, other games, create files and folders and that type of thing, and not have to worry about them being removed when you reboot here. So now we get a Steam login as well, so you can log into Steam right here and start playing your games. All right, so there's your basic overview of Nobara Linux. So I will put a link in the description where you could download the ISO files, and then you could try it out for yourself. All right, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe.